What's up, witches? It's the Zen Witch, back after an unplanned break, a vacation of sorts. I missed my live last Wednesday just because I didn't know it was Wednesday. And about 10 o'clock that night, I went, oh shit, what day is it? My husband said Wednesday, and I went, well, hell, I missed a live stream. So I apologize for that. And then I didn't get a video up for Friday, which was Christmas Day, just because I did not have anything left after everything that we did for Christmas. And I mean, this is it today, you know, no makeup. You either get this or you get nothing. So enjoy it. You get me with no makeup. You get my, my laundry. It's clean, but it's not folded. Sitting in the basket back there. You get the kids' toys all over the floor back here. And holy mackerel. What we did was we did all kinds of cooking and baking. Cliff and I cooked and baked and cooked and ended up giving the majority of it away. And we couldn't have relatives here the way we usually do. And so it was kind of like we got all the work of Christmas without the best parts. And I mean, the three of us together had a nice time being together, as we do, and good food and everything else, but without my daughter being able to be here and without my sister-in-law and her husband being able to be here, it was tough. And truthfully, I am happy it's over. And now it's all over, bar the cleaning up and eating the last of the carbs. So oh, and here's another thing that happened. Pyewacket was adopted into this keto household in October. And in the month of December, we have been decidedly not keto, which means we've been eating lots of carbs. And the one thing about a keto diet is there's not much gas. It's a very ungassy diet. Well, when you go off keto, things happen. The winds begin to move, let's say, and we have discovered that Pyewacket is afraid of farts. So this morning, sleeping away, and I farted first, and when I do, he jumps up and he wants to run under the bed, but I touched him. I said, it's okay, honey, it's just a fart. So he laid back down. I think he thinks there's an animal growling under the covers or barking or something, I don't know. So we're laying there, and it was like 7-ish. And I had reached over for the Tylenol bottle because I had a slamming headache. And, we have a sunny day today, which is why I have a slamming headache, is because the pressure systems have changed. So I had the Tylenol thing open, and I had gotten the Tylenol out and set it down on the table, and Cliff farted. And Pyewacket jumped up, and I went to touch him to say, it's okay, it's just a fart. And he took off across my nightstand, scattered everything everywhere, Tylenol everywhere, and took off under the bed. And I'm just like, oh my God, Pyewacket. And then he was up here fucking around on my desk. I was going to change everything, change my set today, but then I decided it was just too much. And it became too much after Pyewacket got up here and messed everything up. He knocked all my shit over, and I had to throw him out of the bedroom so I could sleep some more. I decided it was going to take at least as much effort to make this look decent as it was going to be to, reset the whole thing. So this is what you get. Anyway, that was a very long intro. And it was like a 4-minute intro. Good gravy. Well, I do have an unboxing today, and it is the Tarot Roots of Asia. And I did not light a charcoal, so hold on. And now I have to go get a frick. This is the way it's been, y'all. All right, hold up. Let me go get a lighter. And I have so little energy and motivation. I hope that wasn't my mouse just shutting off. It was, by golly, that I'm not even going to try to break the charcoal. Come on, do the thing. There you go. There you go. All right, so we will have a whole charcoal, which means I'm going to burn a whole lot of shit once I get off shooting. Okay. Here is Tarot Roots of Asia. I've had to close my curtain because it is such a bright day. We got a foot of snow, and it was lovely on Christmas Day, but it almost made it worse because it's like, ugh, this would be a perfect Christmas, except for the fact that the best part of Christmas is not doable. So anyway, it's very bright. Sorry for the glare. I think when I get them closer to the camera, it won't be so bad. Tarot Roots of Asia, published by AGMuller and distributed through US Games. Tarot Roots of Asia by Amnart, Klanprachar, and Thaworn, Boonyawan. And on the back, let's see, printed in Belgium. Same information on the sides. On the back it says, "Believe nothing because a wise man said it. Believe nothing because it is generally held. Believe nothing because it is written. Believe nothing because it is said to be divine. Believe nothing because someone else believes it, but believe only what you yourself judge to be true." And that is a quote from the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha. 78 cards and detailed instruction booklet. And it has been gotten my tape makeover on the box. We have the little white book. And let's see. Yeah, AGMuller doesn't do all the languages the way Los Scarbeo does, so it's only English, but it's a nice little book. It's thicker than the general, you know, it's kind of squared off at the end. How can I make you see that? I don't know, it's squared. Anyway. Anyway, we have face cards. Guarantee. Should a manufacturing defect be found in this deck before it has been extensively used, we will be glad to replace it. Return the complete deck, including the defective card, to AGMuller in Switzerland. Okay, here are the backs of the cards. I haven't looked at this deck possibly since I got it. And I got it more than 8 years ago. Interesting that you can tell which direction they're facing. You see at the top we've got, hold on, we've got, come on, pop, there we are, red ball, and you can kind of see figures in the background, sort of angelic figures. And then at the bottom we have this mouth and these hands. So very interesting image. You know, a face, I mean, there's a nose here, but the mouth is way down here, and then we've got this hole in the center. But the point being, you'll be able to tell if your cards are reversed, looking from the back. And then we have an AGMuller ad card, Tarot and Cartomancy. Cartomancy products available in bookstores and esoteric groups, and it gives you a list of all kinds of stuff. Now, The Fool. So it's a very soft and subtle art form, but it certainly has a dynamism to it. There's, you know, darks and lights. Sometimes people think soft equals pastel, but it's a soft style, though it has a very dynamic palette and color range. The colors are a bit softer too, though. You don't see like stark black and white. You don't see harsh red. And this figure, it seems to be standing in a wave, doesn't it? I mean, I guess that looks like a cliff. There are flowers on the top. And he's standing here. It's like he's at the bottom of one cliff, and it's hard to see what he's doing. Is he stepping off the edge of something or not? Hard to tell. Got one hand sort of folded in with some stars in it, another hand pointing down. He certainly looks serene. So the only thing that really is in line with the standard Fool card is there's a cliff and there's a person. Not much similarity otherwise. And then the Magician, these are kind of slippery. The Magician is holding what looks like a handful of light or a handful of water. There's something here, looks like a wand of lotus. There's a bowl, there's a circle, there's a blade. So you do have those 4 symbols of the elements. And then he's sort of holding light in his hands. All very Buddha-y so far. The High Priestess just sort of sits looking at us. We kind of see what look like islands and a moon reflected. Islands are lily pads. And she does look very serene. There's the sun and the moon in the place of the white and the black pillars. The Empress. Looking behind to see if I have any water. All right. The Empress has all the creatures around her. Looks like her breasts are kind of flowing with milk. She's got a tiger and a cow that seem to be nursing from her. And we do see the globe here too. There's Asia, there's South America. So the Empress as the world, really, the world, the Earth Mother. Here's the Emperor. Interesting, it's almost like little lotuses coming up with houses on them, but there's the Emperor looking over his domain. Then we have the Hierophant and a lotus and a lily pad. So they all share this real Buddha-like serenity about them. Certainly we have lily pads and a blooming lotus. Then we have the Lover's card. And look at how we've got the blue, like the fire, the water, the blue, the orange, coming together in embrace. The winged creature, the earthly creature, heaven and earth coming together as the lovers. Isn't that wonderful? That really takes us away from the idea of two human people, you know, embracing in earthly love. This is more about the joining of opposites and the joining of the two facets of nature together. Then we have the Chariot, and we've got, looks like a horse, a couple horses maybe. Yep, a couple of horses, and he's still looking very serene. Pretty standard for the Chariot. There's the Strength card. Kind of interesting. We've got these three lions, and it almost looks as if they're morphing into her, but they're still very lion-y along the way, so maybe not. The Hermit. And the Hermit's light seems to be emitting straight from his mind, and his mouth kind of looks to be the mouth of a cave. Very interesting and beautiful images. Let me get some water. The Wheel. We've got, it almost looks like coconuts. It is coconuts because they've got those three things. Coconuts strung in this little coconut bowl. And here are the four symbols of the element: the blade, the wand, the cup, the pentacle, or the coin. And this looks like a dragon that's biting its tail going through these coconuts. Then we have Justice with the scales. The Hanged Man. So again, we are getting the vibe, and here we've got those opposing colors again, the blue and the orange. Masculine, feminine, active, receptive, heaven, earth. And here's Death. And look at the body. Look at the body that's here. It's the earth. And it looks like something's gestating. A tree. Temperance. This being of air and water. Interesting. The Devil. Ooh. Got a tree up in the brain, and that tree is like dropping flaming things, flaming drops coming from this mind. And they look like tears there, and they're falling, and there's one on his tongue, and you know, you imagine as they hit, things are going to start burning. And look at the masks that the people are wearing. This is pretty eloquent that, you know, those incendiary bombs, those things that can set things on fire, come from here. These thoughts we have that are blazing all the time, and on the tongue, the words that we speak that can set things on fire, and how these things bring grief to us. Look at the tears. You know, the devil is in the mind and the stories we tell ourselves. That is as eloquent as it gets. the Tower. So we've got a person and we've got the Tower here, breaking apart in a lightning stroke, the Star. She's beautiful. She looks like she's blowing bubbles. Maybe she is blowing bubbles. She is blowing bubbles. Honest to God. She's blowing frickin' bubbles. I love it. The Moon. Oh, look at that. Serenity is what that says to me. And deep, you know, going deep, the deep internal things. Then we have the Sun shining out. In a lot of Asian cultures, the Sun is feminine. Judgment. Judgment shows all these rocks falling. Interesting. The Universe. And again, we have prominent breasts and the belly being the earth. So that very strong female connotation. Then we have the swords. Look at that blade. Oof. Ace of Swords. The two. I don't expect things to follow the standard pattern here. Two of Swords, again, showing a face. There are three birds up here. One sword is this way, one sword is this way. The Three. Talking about heartache. Okay, wait a minute. I'm getting confused here because this is swords, not wands. Two of Swords. Usually shows a blindfold. Well, we've got darkened eyes here, but they're not closed, so we don't have the blindfold. This is heartache. We have this kind of heart-shaped thing, but it looks like a tortured being, really, with heart swords piercing. Big wings and thunder, and here's the Four, which talks about rest, maybe rest after an illness, or just taking a break from the fray. Then we have the Five, card of defeat or assessment after the battle. And it looks like eagles and a phoenix. The Six, there's the boat, so we have an allusion to the standard. The Seven is the thief card. And we just have swords kind of pointing up and then a pair of sandals. Not quite sure. Eight of Swords, and rather than a blindfold, we have hands over the eyes. I don't want to know. But look at the owl sitting on top of the head, about wisdom, you know, bringing some wisdom in. Nine of Swords. We've got the birds again, lots of wings going on, and swords up pointed, but we don't really show the person in the middle of that. And then Ten of Swords, we just have one more sword pointing up like that, and kind of a phoenix at the top, I think, maybe. Page. Look at the detail. This almost reminds me a little of Susan Seddon-Boulet's artwork, because there's just so much to see. You know, you can look in and find all kinds of little details. We've got sort of a griffin type thing with the knight. There is the queen and the king. The birds certainly denoting that swords are air. Ace of Wands. A big thumbnail or finger, and there's the earth coming out of a lotus. Wands, the Two of Wands. It's hard to see unless I hold them up close for you. Talking about dominion, the tiger at the bottom. There's the Three of Wands, blooming lotus, something coming to fruition. The Four. We don't show people building something together. We see leopards and we see lotuses. The Five of Wands is just a hand. And it's got all the wands pointing in the same direction, but I mean, that really is a departure from the usual Five of Wands, which shows people, you know, wands pointing in all directions and fighting against each other. This seems much more coordinated. The Six. Victory with the lion. The Seven is, I mean, we really do have a departure here, because I'm looking at this going, how do I see this as kind of, you know, overwhelm or standing your ground or holding your own? And I don't really see that depicted. Here's the Eight of Wands. Now they really are kind of flying in different directions. The 9, and you look at the tiger holding the wand, so that does have the vibe of the original. And the 10, there's that kind of phoenix, and then there's a tiger, and then there's all these wands. So is the tiger being held in by the wands? I'm not sure. Page, Knight, Queen, and King. Now we go to Pentacles. And they do call them pentacles, even though there's no pentacle, it's just a coin. And I see a monkey, and I see a lion, and I see like tree branches. Beginning of growth, maybe 2 of Pentacles. Got an elephant. 3 of Pentacles. Elephants again. Do I get the idea of mastery? Not really. 4. I would definitely be struggling to see how these are depicting the standard definitions. So we will look to see how much the definitions on this deck differ from the standard. Here's the 5. Looks like an elephant like taking a header straight down, and these coins are falling. So there's certainly the idea of a fall there. 6 of Pentacles, Charity. Again, they don't really depict. So this would be something that you would want to spend time with, learning its system, and we'll see how much it differs when we get there. There's the 8, the 9, the 10. No people in these cards, but it does show a family. There's a family of elephants. And then we have the Page, the Knight, riding an elephant, the Queen, and the King. So it seems that wands were tigers, the swords were air and birds, and then the wands were tigers, fire. This is elephants for earth. And now we will see what they use for cups. Here's the Ace of Cups, the 2. I see people, one coming down from heaven, one coming up, joining together. The 3, we have turtles, sea turtles and fishes. The 4, it almost looks, well, they're hanging from a string. It's like cups sort of hanging from a string. I'm not sure. The 5, again, we've got them kind of tied up to a something. And is that water pouring out? It looks like clouds. I'm not really understanding the configuration. I guess the 2 being still tied up says they're still upright and the others are spilling. I don't know. And then we have fish, 6 of Cups. 7. We don't have different things in each of these. There's different things all through here, but they're not in the cups. So the 8. I'm trying to remember what the 8 of Cups looks like right now. Oh, walking away, yeah. Brain not working too well. Pain is overcoming brain. 9 of Cups, the wish card. Here's the 10. So almost pip cards. They're very close to pip cards. Page. The Knight is riding that birdie kind of thing again, I think. There's the Queen, and there's the King. All right, let's go to the book. This is copyright 2001, originally 1988. 1988 by Amaravati Publications. In Hertfordshire, England, and then 2001 by AGMuller in Switzerland. All right. Introduction. We have the same quote that's on the back of the box. Let me see how long this is. Not too long. The Tarot Roots of Asia has been created with the aim to be a wonderful passage to spiritual realization. Every step of the path encourages self-actualization so that the beauty of the inward truth can be revealed. Artist Amnart Klanprachar, who is now living a hermetic life, has devoted all his life in search of understanding the truth through art, which he believes is not only the reflection of one's state of mind, but also a channel for the oneness to be unveiled. He uses fingers, knives, and rods to create the Tarot Roots of Asia for a full 1 year with the hope to share the wisdom he has gained during the past few decades in the jungle. So he's a hermit. That's very interesting. I would like to express my appreciation to Venerable Ajahn Chah at Wat Pa Nana Chat, who opened my eyes with the precious teaching of Buddha, and Amaravati Buddhist Center, to Venerable Panya Saro, Secretary to the Abbot, who assisted and gave us permission to publish the right practice to insight meditation in this booklet. Ew! So there's thanks, more and more thanks. Hope to Tarot Roots of Asia is the first step of a long journey towards the ultimate destination of life. May the good intentions involved in the production of it serve to play some small part in creating well-being, both individual and social, in this world at large. And that is by Thaworn Boonyawan, who is the artist. Or maybe the writer. Yeah, the writer. Okay, so we go into the major arcanas, which, you know, arcana is plural of arcanum, so arcanas. With each of the majors, we have a pretty big description of the card. The Fool, this is the first and most important character in the major arcana, for he represents the foundation from which existence arises. Though this card is numbered as 0, symbolizing the Fool's emptiness of good and bad intentions, one should not think of the Fool as a void of nothingness. Rather, he is the original mind, that base reality unmasked from the illusion that each of us exists as an independent entity. To understand the Fool, one must look deep into the furthest recess of the mind and find the origin that reveals the interconnectedness and unity of all. And then it has a divinatory key, the limitless energy of pure spirit, the beginning of spiritual journey, ignorance or naivete. So we have kind of a pithy description of what the Fool does stand for, but then we've got a description of the image that is very Buddhist in nature. And we step through. Magician, from the movement of the original mind arises the 4 emotions of cold, symbolizing reserved or passive thought, hot, symbolizing anger or aggressive thought, hard, symbolizing egotism or patience, and soft, symbolizing weakness or humility. Each is balanced with good and bad qualities. These 4 elements manifest physically as the 4 elements. Oh, these 4 emotions manifest physically as 4 elements. Cold manifests as wind, air or swords. Hot is fire, wands. Hard manifests as earth, the coins, seeds or pentacles, and soft manifests as water, cups. All matter originated and evolved from the interaction of these elements. The magician represents the balance that this interaction maintains within the dynamic universe. Those who understand the magician possess a keen awareness of the interdependence essential to existence and have the ability to balance their own emotions while spreading compassion to those around them. Boy, go watch my reading of the full moon chart for the 29th. There it is right there. The magician does not turn rocks into birds, but even greater can see himself in others and others in himself. The awareness of the initiate, the creative focused attention, the changing of ideas into action. So if you just went through their descriptions through the major arcana, I think you'd learn something pretty valuable. All right. The minors, the swords, overcoming illusion. Let's just look at what each of the minors is described as. The swords is overcoming illusion. The wands, revelation of the spirit through creation. And then there is a description of each element by itself before it goes into the meanings of the cards. And let me see here. The each of the minors is the same as the majors, a pretty big description by the artist, and then just a very one-phrase divinatory meaning. Okay. Cups are the emotional pathway, and Pentacles says grounding the psyche. Okay. Then once we get out of there, we have layout suggestions. The 5 faculties of power spread. Shuffle the deck, place them in the positions. We have the faith to believe, the will to make the endeavor, the faculty of alertness, the ability to concentrate one's mind, and the ability to maintain clear wisdom. Those are interesting labels. I don't know. I think it might be a little difficult to fit the card to the way the category is described, like the faith to balance. And you put a card there. Does that thing give you the faith? Does it describe the nature of your faith? You know, what does that mean exactly? I'm not sure. Then there's a chakra spread. Chakra. And let's see. So we've got the chakra spread. We have the Wheel of Wisdom spread that uses a hell of a lot of cards. It uses 23 cards. Then we have Introduction to Insight Meditation. Okay. Serve as an introduction to the practice of insight meditation as taught within the tradition of Theravada Buddhism. You need not be familiar with the teachings of the Buddha to make use of it, although such knowledge can help to clarify any personal understanding you may develop through meditation. And then there's the introduction. Sustaining attention, sitting, and it talks about time and place, awareness of the body, awareness of breathing, walking and standing, lying down, cultivating the heart, and then reflection, choiceless awareness, contemplating your practice, living insightfully, further suggestions, personal conduct, company and routine, notes on posture, for drowsiness, for tension or headaches, Sabbadanam Dhammadanam Jinati, the gift of Dhamma surpasses all other gifts. Dhamma, I wonder if they mean Dharma. If that's another word for Dharma. Okay, here we go. You know what? I want to look up the 5 of Wands real quick because that was the one that kind of made me go, that's very different. The reality of suffering. Pain and suffering will enter our lives because of the perceptions we have of our pain. Its fire can consume us. When we're able to understand the root cause of our suffering, we will be able to eliminate our distress. The 5 causes of suffering are a desire of the sense, ill will, sloth and laziness, distraction and anxiety, and doubt and uncertainty. And the divinatory key is the struggle and challenge of inner and outer growth. Now that was the one that showed the hand, kind of the 5 fingers. Let me find it. There. So they're saying that those 5 things are the 5 pillars of suffering. 5, yeah. Pain and suffering enter our lives. 5 causes of suffering. All right. Okay. Let's do a reading. Hold up. Allies and ancestors, guides and guardians, come be with me now. Open my mind to let the wisdom come through. I offer you fresh water, I offer you salt water, and I offer you the fire of Azrael. Please be a true oracle and bring us information that is insightful, useful, accurate, and practical. All right. Let's take a shuffle. I know these are going to shuffle right because they feel like a regular deck of cards. And again, for the 1000th time, how nice would it be if all these new decks were made like regular decks of cards? I mean, look. See how thin that is? And these are not flimsy cards by any stretch of the imagination. Take many years of shuffling the crap out of these for them to wear out. I was on a Facebook page the other day, and this woman had, I can't remember if it was a Tarot or a Lenormand deck. I think it was Tarot that her grandmother gave to her, and it was just worn out. I mean, the cards were shaped by the years of handling. They were kind of narrowed in at the sides and here. Incredible looking thing. All right, let's do one more shuffle this way. And then I will ask a question. All right. Oh, Tarot Roots of Asia, please tell us how we may, in this moment, at this time, move beyond our suffering, move beyond our victimhood, move beyond merely surviving into thriving fully as a spirit. Okay, there's one. We're going to put it that way. And then, whoops, there's two. And then we're going to take one more. Or we'll get one more. We'll see what happens. Ooh, okay, there goes a whole bunch flying. You know, we got 5 of them here, so let's do this 5 thing and see how it goes. All right. They call this the 5 faculties of power. That's the first one. That's the second one. And we lay them out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So the first one we get is 9 of Swords. This is the faith to believe. So how do we fit 9 of Swords to a category that says the faith to believe? Burdens on the mind. We are paralyzed and cannot fly because our sadness and our problems burden us. Okay, the pressures that keep us down are anger, looking down on others, envy, stinginess, deceit, hypocrisy, false speech, evil desires, and false view. Every single one of which we have seen on display this year, if not in this last month. Unreal. Okay, so the faith. So I'm looking at this now and saying this is what's in the way of our faith and our ability to believe. Our faith has been dashed again and again by people. It says despair that leads to healing is the divination key. So we've got all of these things keeping us down and kind of squashing our faith and taking us into despair. But interestingly, it's at that moment of despair, generally, that things start to turn around, and particularly start to turn around in terms of our attitude. I remember when I was a single mom and not working and trying to find a place to move to for myself and my daughter with, you know, income that was only child support, and it was a good amount, and child support and some other spousal support that he owed me at the time. But nobody in the world was going to rent to a single mother without a job. So, and who can blame them, seriously? And I would get to these parts of places of just going, you know, help me, help me, help me, help me, and not getting any help at all. And I remember getting to that place at that time and saying, okay, and feeling like I was getting nothing but silence in answer. And I went out and I did a spell and everything, and I burned a candle, and basically it was saying, okay, I will do this alone. So my only prayer then was just please give me the strength to do this on my own. And everything shifted. When I finally took things into my hands, everything shifted. And it was magical. It was a friend stepping in to help me, calling out of the blue and stepping in to help me. But it wasn't until I said, this is mine to fix, that things shifted. So that desperate point, when maybe we finally give up on help ever arriving, where we finally step into the power position. So very interesting there. The next one is the will to make the endeavor, and we have the Hierophant here. And I have to tell you guys, through this whole thing, I am battling brain fog every step of the way. I mean, I feel like I have to concentrate so hard. Stop. This card indicates good action. When the lotus grows up from the humus of the earth and blooms for everyone to see, there will be understanding of the results of good action. With this understanding of living life according to the laws of causation, one is brought to the threshold of enlightenment. The struggles of life, the mindfulness of experiences, and the ability to choose well will bring us to the doorway of enlightenment. Now, what's the category again? Okay. Category is the will to make the endeavor. Inner teacher, revealer of sacred things, adherence to principles, all of the dualities that we need to resolve, i.e. inner and outer divine. Okay. So the will. The will to do it, I guess, is turning us towards our inner teacher. See, I'm kind of, I don't like the way these categories have been named. They don't lend themselves to the meanings of the cards being interpreted through them. Okay, the will is your inner teacher. Maybe just letting your inner teacher take the lead here. Going to your inner teacher so that you can discover the sacred things, adherence to principles. I guess it's saying to apply your will in adhering to the principles of Buddhism, to put those into action. I guess that might be it. Oh, this one. How interesting is that? Okay. That, and we don't have reverse meanings here, and we don't have, you know, the cards are like this, so you know when they're reversed because there are no reversed meanings. It doesn't mention reverses here. Next category, the faculty of alertness, is the Seven of Pentacles. I'm not going to read the whole long thing. Soul regeneration, ingenuity, the faculty of alertness. Attaining the noble treasures. In order to give away our treasures, we must have first developed them within ourselves. Alertness. The noble treasures we must attain are confidence, virtuous conduct, strong conscience, ability to avoid evil, development and expansion of our own knowledge, freely sharing our material and spiritual wealth, and supreme wisdom. So we've got to use all those things, practice attaining those in order to be alert. Again, I like the meanings of the cards. I don't like the way they are described. The categories are described. They don't work. Nine of Cups. And this one is the ability to concentrate one's mind. Enjoying the good life. Emptiness, touching the mind of God. To achieve real happiness, we have to have the absolute mind, the mind of God, but first we must first do some house cleaning of our minds. In order to accomplish this, we must eliminate 8 things. Anger, looking down on others, jealousy, stinginess, deceit, hypocrisy, false speech, evil desire, and false view. The capacity to concentrate one's mind. It doesn't fricking work. Enjoying the good life. How does that help to concentrate the mind? Yeah, I don't... Even this, the enjoying the good life and the description here seem to sort of be at odds with each other. Because it's when we get caught up in sensual pleasures and what our senses deliver to us that we sort of lose the clarity of mind. I don't know. The last category, the ability to maintain clear wisdom, is the Queen of Wands. Oh, wait. We don't have... I don't see the court cards here. Hold up. Oh, wait. Court cards are in a separate thing. The courts. And it doesn't have any kind of thing that says, here's why the courts are separate. Drive me crazy. Okay, this card, Queen of Wands, indicates a difficulty in giving freely because of the negative fire held within the heart. When the blossom fully opens, so too does our hearts, and we're able to give of ourselves abundantly. In order to destroy the negative fire that holds us back, we must develop selflessness. This card can mean the right time to initiate a new enterprise, especially one dealing with finances. So there's an extra layer of the court cards. There's a situational layer. When dealing with you can expect help and advice along your way and people who will assist you and whose assistance will be valuable. It also indicates you have the qualities within yourself you need to succeed in your endeavors. And this particular category was the ability to maintain clear wisdom, manifesting the spiritual potential. Okay, again, they don't fit. They don't fit. There's a lot of wisdom in each card, just in the description. And to tell you the truth, what I would do with this deck is use it as a study guide for Buddhism. What lesson do I need to concentrate on today? Pick a card. There's going to be a great lesson there and deal with that, because I'm just really not getting, even going through all these, the meanings are not sticking with me. Let's go through just one more time. I'm going to give it one last shake, you guys. I'm shaking them as hard as I can here. All right. Nine of Swords, despair that leads to healing. So there was the despair. And then the Hierophant, inner teacher, the despair that leads us to look to our inner wisdom and try to resolve the inner and outer there. The Seven of Pentacles. Holy moly. Seven of Pentacles. Where are you, please? All right. Soul regeneration. Ingenuity. So we do what we need to do to regenerate our will and our, presence in life. The Nine of Cups, searching for insight and introspection. We look for insight. And then the Queen of Wands was that fire taking us, I don't remember what it was. The Queen of Wands, manifesting spiritual potential. Then we'll be able to manifest our potential. So, they don't really stick with the standard tarot. So it would be very easy to just use these as a system on their own rather than trying to push the very wonderful wisdom and lessons that are on each card into what we know about tarot and use it that way. I'm sure if you learned the system on its own, it would be a perfectly good divinatory tool. But the thing is, you really have to learn it on its own. It's not going to lend itself to, oh, this is the Seven of Swords, I know what that means. The meanings in the book don't come close to that. You could certainly apply those meanings in your head to these and forget the book. But yeah, it certainly is reflective of Asian belief systems, the Buddhist belief system, and it certainly is a beautiful deck. I just don't get how it's supposed to do the thing it's supposed to do, and I especially am not really digging the categories in the readings. Let me look at this chakra spread real quick and see what these categories are. Oh wait, that's the Wheel of Wisdom. All right, here we go. A tool used for understanding oneself as a means of gaining self-knowledge. Crown chakra. Oh, location top of the head, divinatory meaning, cosmic consciousness, brain, nervous system, color violet. So it just shows what the chakras are, and I guess you put a card in each one and apply it to that area of your life. That would make more sense to say, okay, the place in you that deals with your will, your solar plexus, here's what lesson I need to apply to that. Maybe that would work better. At any rate, I hope you found that enjoyable and entertaining. I have missed doing this, but I have had no will to do this with how busy we've been. And then I definitely got my pins kicked out from under me right at Christmas there. And I've been resting and I've been taking care of myself as best I can. But it's time to start looking forward now. And And you can look forward to the standard stuff, to the live stream on Wednesday, if provided I remember it's Wednesday, and unboxings on Monday and Friday. I sure hope that you guys are staying safe and staying healthy, and I hope that that the best vibes are available to you going into the new year. I certainly have new content on the way. I'm not going to put too much out about it because we don't know if this old girl can keep her promises lately. Anyway, please click subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the like button so more people can see what I do. And let me know what you think of this below, and I will reply to your comments. I do love engaging in conversation with you. I have learned many things from you guys. I have learned some really interesting things about the Lenormands, and I'm working with them every day, and I'm learning, you guys. I love to have something new to learn. You will be benefiting from that sometime soon. All right, take care. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you again on Friday for an Oracle unboxing. And until then, be safe, everybody. This is Luna the Zen Witch. Blessed be.